Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome. My name is Georgia. So, as you can see from the title, we are going to do a recap and a review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 17, titled Sau Lady like So Lady Like, and it's spelled Sau. Now, I'm seeing people with other reviews here on YouTube, and being that this is the second episode for the mid-season, you have some people saying that it's season 7 episode 2. It's just crazy. So I need somebody, if you guys know, in the comments to really tell what season, what episode, because it's confusing and that is going to cause a lot of problems in the end. I think I'm even going to reach out to Carlos in his DMs on Instagram and ask him to make it clear. He usually does a review after the show. So maybe I'll look at his title and see. Maybe I have it wrong. Maybe they have it wrong. Maybe they don't know. Maybe own network knows. But somebody needs to get us all on the same page. Let us know what season we're in, what episode, because it's getting annoying at this point. Anyway, let's get into the recap and the review of this episode. So I'm saying it's season 6, episode 17. So we have where we left off. We had Mel visiting KEke at home. So they had to be continued, where we had Mel and KEke talking about what the ladies are saying regarding what they saw on the news. So KEke said when all of this is over, the ladies are gonna have to bow down to her. So bow down, you know the rest. I can't say it in the first few minutes of the review, but she's saying that they're gonna have to bow down to her. She's not worried about what's going on. She told Mel that she was the first to call to check on her, but it seems like Mel is the first with everything this season. She's the first to go see the baby and check on Tiffany. She's the first to call KEke to find out how she's doing and everything. KEke said that Tisha did not call. Actually, she was the last person to call. And I really like the way Mel handled that. She told KEke that, being because of the space you and Tisha are in, maybe, she wasn't comfortable calling you. So Mel also asked KEke, when Tisha was going through her problems, where the rumors were out there that her husband was cheating and stuff, did you call and check on her? And KEke said she didn't feel like that she should have. Like she didn't want to interfere or anything. So Mel was like, well, there you have it. You guys are still in a place where you're repairing your relationship. So therefore, maybe you're not there yet, but at least she called to check on you. So they talked about it. Mel actually asked her straight out, are you the one on the video? She's like, I can't talk about it. A lawyer gave me specific instructions not to speak about it, but I will be vindicated in the end. So that was what KEke had to say about it. She asked KEke if she's going to go to the baby reveal, Tiffany's baby reveal, that Tiffany told Mel that she was going to send an extended invitation to KEke, and she really expects to see her there. So KEke was excited. She's like, yeah, I'll go. It'll be good to see all these ladies in one place and to let them see that, there's nothing wrong or anything going on. So Mel told her it will be good to see you there. She said, be ready for anything that's becoming. And KEke was like, I'm ready for whatever. I'm ready for whatever. I'm like, okay, KEke. Look like you're ready to fight, but hey, that's not what it's about. It's a baby reveal. All right, so we leave that there. Now we are with Tisha and Marsau. Now we see why they have moved into an apartment. Their home is being renovated. Actually, Marsau is the one doing the renovation. I'm sure he's getting help from other people, I'm sure. But at this point, he's the one doing the renovation. Tisha comes over with coffee for him and stuff like that. And they're talking about the deposition. So apparently there is a construction lawsuit going on. We get to find out later on that there's a $5.7 million lawsuit against Marsau and the construction company. And she asks him, how did the deposition go? He says, well, it happened, but at this point, we're going to go to trial. They did not spend a lot of time on it. Then Tisha's like, so when this house is finished and they're going to move back in, but I thought they were building a bigger house elsewhere. Well, from what we saw on Instagram Live, they were showing us the area that they were building the house. I'm guessing that's not going to move forward. I hope that they address it here because, you showed it to us. We need to know what's happening. So apparently they're doing a reconstruction on their home, and Tisha wants to know what's the furniture budget. So where's the furniture that was there before? Don't you have it in storage somewhere waiting to come back out to put in the house? So apparently not. So Marsau is like, at this point, can we rent to own? I'm like, oh my God, no, he did not just say that. No, he did not say that. Tisha was like, no, we're not gonna rent to own no furniture. Have you ever seen those furnitures that's rent to own? Those things look like little cardboard boxes, and most of the time, this is furniture that was in other people's house that they went to get back to bring back to the store. Ew. So then he's like, you know what? Let's order directly from China. Now, I don't have a problem with that because that's where most of the furnitures come from anyway. So why not go through what? DHgate, Alibaba, AliExpress? Why not go directly to the manufacturers and get what you really want instead of shopping these retail stores that's going to mark up the price 4, 5, 6 times? So I didn't have a problem with it at that point. You know, you buy from China, pay for shipping, your stuff come in, and you got it. But now they get to talking about budgeting. So I remember in the past seasons where they were talking about how much money each of them should, have in their pocket for the month. And Tisha was saying she needs a bit more because she's a woman and she needs more maintenance and she has the kids to take care of well. So now we find out that, after paying their bills and everything, everybody gets a budget in their pocket. So Tisha has $5,000 to spend on whatever she wants. And Marsau has $3,500. So she mentions Marsau's car. She's like, your budget could not have afforded to have your car. So he's like, all I did was wrap my car from silver to yellow. So yeah, the budget would be able to cover it. So guys know he have a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL with the Gulf wings. So we saw them riding around in past seasons. So everyone was assuming that he upgraded his car, but now we find out all he did was wrap it in a different color and put it in yellow and out of silver. So now when he's ready to sell it, trade it in, all he have to do is peel that wrap off, and then he could trade it in and sell it if he choose to. But that's one of the top of the line cars in Mercedes-Benz. So I don't think Marsau is going to get rid of that car until he reaches like about 120,000 miles, which is when they suggest that you actually go for another one. So it looks pretty. I love that yellow. Back to the budgeting. So they're talking about the budget. He's saying, the purse you have on right now costs more than what it costs for me to wrap the car. And she's like, how much does the purse cost? He's like, I'm not about to tell you that information. So she said Marsau was going on. I think he was getting heated, the fact that Tisha was trying to find out what he's doing with his money. But he's like, I don't ask you what you do with yours, so don't worry about what I do for mine. I'm making sure that this house that we're renovating is coming out of my budgeting. I tell you, you don't have to buy anything. Everything that I'm doing is coming out of my pocket. So I could feel where he was feeling the tension. Like Marsau had said in some past episode, he's like, you don't know the stress that it is on the shoulder of me to make sure that I prepare for the family not to want anything. And Tisha was saying, let me help. I'm able to, so let me help you. He said the money in his monthly budget that he have to do anything for Black Cigar Lounge, he got to figure that out and stuff. So he just wanted her to not come at him about money. You could tell there is some tension there. Remember back in the past few episodes, Marsau wanted to bring in an accountant or a finance person because he feels that Tisha was spending too much, and she was still defending it, saying that, I don't only spend the money on me, I spend it on the kids. So there's an issue there with money, and it needs to be talked about. It might be an uncomfortable conversation between the two, but it needs to happen for them to be okay. That might be the demise of the relationship if there is one, because budgeting, money talk, that's usually the first thing that breaks down marriages and relationships. All right, so enough with that. So she said that she told him now that she was only getting on him because she wanted something. So Marsau was like, what do you want? And she said she wants to upgrade her SUV. She wants a new SUV and she wants to upgrade it. You're over here arguing about money and you want to go spend more of it, knowing that the man really don't have it to spend, but he's going to do what he has to do to make you happy. Why don't you just go wrap your car and make it look new? whatever scratches and stuff will be covered. Just go get it detailed, make it very clean, and wrap it in a different color. And people never know. Well, they would, but at least they'll see that you're trying and you're not trying to waste money. But I don't think Tisha should go for a new car. But who am I? It's their money. They could do what they want with it. So he told her, girl, baby, just go buy whatever you want. We shouldn't even be arguing about stuff like this. Whatever you want, just go get it, and we'll deal with it later. So that was Marsau's and Tisha's kind of tense relationship regarding finances. Now we have Stormi and Tiffany. Stormi is meeting Tiffany at the venue where she's planning to have the baby reveal. They're talking about the party planning. It's a beautiful place. The location is very nice. Being that her name is Tiffany, they're going to go with the Tiffany blue theme. They're going to borrow that. And she's saying that her life is so topsy-turvy that most of the time, she can't get anything done and she'll be ending up having dinner for breakfast. So what they're going to do, they're going to have waffles and stuff for the party, just to show them that, but I think the theme was very nice. I like that theme. They're going to have waffles and whatever as the meal, and to show the ladies that their life was topsy-turvy. They talked about what happened at the Black Expo, about, where Marsau was asking Stormi to pay the $100. That $100 is coming back. This thing is growing legs. And Stormi basically told her, listen, I don't have a problem with Letitia. I just don't like Marsau. I don't like the way that he's in women's business, which is where the title for this episode came in, Sau Lady Like. He's like, Marsau be acting like he's always in women's business, and that's not cute. So then they talked about that for a minute. Stormi asked her who she invited. She named everybody, all the ladies. She said, I want all the ladies here. She even invited KEke. She told Stormi that she spoke to Melody, and Melody was like, why don't you approach KEke with a different attitude, and you may see a different side of her. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to extend the olive branch. I'm going to make sure that, I keep myself open. So I invited KEke. And then she, of course, threw shade, saying that, I hope she don't steal the doorknobs or something to that, or the centerpieces and so on and so forth. Stormi didn't find that funny. And, it was, I kind of like Stormi for not making judgment at that point, but it was good. Now they start talking about being a mom. She asked her, since you've been home with baby Ace, how have you been? She's like, I know how I felt when I came home with Chase and the pressures of being a mom. So Tiffany tells her that, there is pressure on me of being a mom and a wife, because remember, this is not my first child. I have a 15 and a 16-year-old who are in high school that needs things, and they're doing extracurricular activities. So I'm getting texts throughout the day. She said, my husband is not here. He's away traveling with A&M University doing coaching, and I have people texting me wanting me to make decisions regarding business. And on top of that, I have people texting me wanting to see the baby. How are you doing? And everything. So she was just rambling off, and she told Stormi that she thanks her for asking that question, because she's the only one who's asked so far. So she was just happy to vent. And then Stormi told her, it's okay not to be okay. She's like, I'm here for you if you need anything. Whatever you need, just call on me. I'm here for you. So that was good for those two ladies to talk and bond like that a little bit. So they spoke a little bit more about what's going on in their lives, and then they ended the scene regarding that. Now, this scene right here is what kind of got me in my feelings, as they say. So we have Tisha and Marsau meeting with Nell and Chris for lunch. And the reason for the meeting is because Nell and Chris wants to know why they were not invited to be a part of the Black Expo. They're saying they have been in business for 29 years, and they have been married for much longer than that. They actually are a pillar of business in Huntsville. So why is it that they were not invited? So Marsau goes and says that he didn't know that Nell had a business, that he just thought that Chris Fletcher, as he called him, Flex, made the money, and that Nell was his pretty wife. Of course, they were both taken aback at that. And Nell, of course, told him, like, that's not right. She says, I've had a daycare since for 29 years. She's like, I own a daycare and I've had it for 29 years. And Marsau was like, I didn't know that. Mel was like, Mel, no. Oh, Lord, these people's names. Chris was like, no, I've told you that before. I told you my wife owns a daycare center. He's like, I don't remember. So Marsau is, I'm guessing, kind of self-centered. He probably did know. He probably just lying right through his teeth, sitting there lying in these people's faces. And he wanted, they wanted to know why they weren't invited. And he's telling them, I didn't know that you guys were in business. I didn't think that, with Chris being in real estate, that he needed to have a booth or anything like that. Why not? People are always looking for homes. And people are always looking for a good daycare center for their kids. They would have been the perfect business couple to be at that meeting. And they were not invited. So they asked, so were the core six there? Did they get up on stage and speak? And of course, Marsau was like, well, Martell worked the crowd and Mel didn't speak, but she was there to support, which was a good thing. And Mel was like, I heard you were asking people to that you weren't willing to pay people to speak. And Marsau made the comment that no, he was not going to pay somebody to speak because all the money was coming out of their pockets and he was not about to ask anybody to speak, especially someone that's been in business like not very long. He's throwing jabs at Mel at this point because he said if I was going to pay anybody to speak, it might have been my brother who's in credit repair and maybe Stormi because she's been in business a long time. So those were the two that I would pay to speak. But no, I was not going to pay anybody to speak. I was actually asking them for money. And Nell was like, wait a minute, you're asking them to pay you money for their time to speak at your event. That don't make no kind of sense. So he's like, well, that's what it was. So he was really throwing shade. He's like, I'm not going to pay somebody to speak who has a t-shirt business. Now, Marsau, that's wrong. You know that Mel has been in business a very long time. She has her property preservation business. Yes, her skincare beauty brand might be fairly new, but she has been in business a long time. Remember, she started up Holt Enterprise, or Skolt, I should say, Enterprise, with you and Martell. And I believe that Chris Fletcher brought that to his attention, and his answer, well, where are they now? And Chris was like, I'm not going to allow you to throw shade at the Holts because you know that they were helpful to you back in the days. Yes, they may be in a situation right now, but don't do that. Don't throw shade. Marsau was like, he was going down. Chris was like, that's real low. Or Nell, one of them said it, that's real low. You don't need to do that. So somehow they got off that relationship. And Tisha was like, so 29 years. Guys have been married 29 years. They're like, yes. So she's like, have you dealt with cheating in your relationship? And how did you handle that? Who spoke about it first? Right in there, Marsau shut it down. He's like, no, we're not going to talk about that. Let's pause. Let's reset. Let's not do that. And he was like, I'm sorry I offended you guys. And they were like, no, we're not offended. Nell was like, no, we're not offended. I don't mind answering the question. He's like, well, it's kind of an uncomfortable question for me. So therefore, can we not further the conversation regarding this? Nell got in the confessional. She's like, it seemed like Nell and Chris got in the confessional, said it seems like Tisha was trying to reach out for help, but Marshall shut it down, which I actually think that's true. So I'm hoping that further on in the season that we're going to get to see Tisha and Nell talking about it. And, she might get some advice going on about what's going on in her marriage, allegedly, as they're talking about on the internet. So we'll see. But yeah, we left it there. So now we have the day of the baby reveal. We have Tiffany showing up, and she walks in. She sees the signs at the front door. She's like, "Oh, that's cute." But when she steps in, it's not prepared. And then people started coming up soon after that. So she jumps in and she's like, what can I do to help? We had Stormi come in. Stormi was stressed for her. She's like, Tiffany, I really don't want to see you doing anything. But she insisted on helping. So they were helping to set up. Then we had everybody starting to arrive little by little. But my question is, nobody said it. Well, where's the baby? Where is the baby reveal? If she comes out the car without the baby, where's the baby? But hey, maybe we'll see it because the episode isn't over. We had a to be continued. So she comes in, the decor is not set up. She's speaking to the party planner like, lady, what's going on? She's like, the rain came down, so they had to move everything around a little bit. So that's the hold up. The balloons were not up. The food was being set up, which is cute. And everybody comes in and jumps in to help. So now we have Kimmy comes, greets everybody, and hugs. She's looking so pretty in her bright colors. And now we have Mel come in. Mel greets everybody with a hug. She says hello real loud to Stormi because everybody's standing right there in a circle. Stormi pretends to be digging for something in her purse and does not answer Mel. But okay, Mel's like, okay, I'll shake that off. I'm not going to worry about it. Now they get to talking, and somehow they end up in a story about the Black Expo. So Stormi was telling her experience in Marsau, and Mel was like, what? Marsau asked you to pay $100? And she's like, yeah. So now her and Mel are actually talking. So Stormi felt that the expo, in her opinion, was a show. I'm not trying not to curse, but that's what she said. She's like, it was organized, unorganized, and it wasn't done very well. But hello, this is their first one they're doing. I think Stormi was just very upset about the fact that Marsau came in her face to ask for the $100, as I would be too, and the way he went about it, it was not cute at all. So, I think that was, she still had a grudge about it. And then her and Tisha got into the argument over lunch. And she's still holding on to that, as she should. And everybody didn't know what went down. So Mel was like, what? I didn't know all of that happened at the expo. And okay, so now everyone is still coming in. We have Nell come in, and somehow she gets Mel to talk to her over to the side. I'm guessing production made that happen because it needed to be said what Marsau was doing. So they're sitting off to the side, and she's like, girl, I'm going to come by the daycare to see you tomorrow. I'm going to pop up on you. And she was like, sure, come on by. So she's like, I need to tell you what happened. I had lunch with Tisha and Marsau, myself and my husband. And she was like, how did that go? She's like, I'm trying to build a bond with the two of them, but I think there is a some sort of wedge between us because of the friendship that you and I have. She doesn't fully trust me. And Mel was like, that's BS, because you guys have patronized their establishment. So, why would she even come and say something like that? She's like, that's total BS. She's like, well, that's not it, girl. Let me tell you what he was saying about you. Of course, she didn't say it like that, but that's me. He was saying that at the expo that, he wasn't going to pay somebody to speak who has a t-shirt business. Of course, Mel got heated with that, as she should, as I would. She was like, well, what if I had said I didn't want to do business with somebody who have a 5-point something lawsuit for fraud? How would they feel about it? And then they went on to talking about, just little other things that were being said. And Mel was saying, I don't check for a dude who comes for women when women are trying to do business, and then they come and they try to belittle her, which is true. This is what Marsau is doing. Mel is soaring since she left Martell. I think Marsau is really worried that Mel and Letitia are going to come back, be friends, and Letitia is going to take off and leave him. And he is worried about that, I think, because remember, Letitia is the majority holder for Skolt right now. And I think from what the blogs are saying, allegedly, everything that is going on with them financially, that's good. It's Letitia who have them in that position. So he is worried, and he's trying to make it seem like what Mel is doing is not enough. But yeah, that is where the episode ended. We have Marsau trying to come for all these women. We have him coming for Stormi, saying, give me that $100. He's coming for Mel, saying Mel don't have a real business head. And who else is he coming for? Saying that Miss Nell does not have a business. So Marsau, you're not looking very good in these last few episodes, dude. I'm guessing you're stepping into the position of Martell. Now he's not filming as much, but you need to really check the way you're behaving. You need to do a little bit better. But yeah, guys, that is the recap and my review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 17, titled Sau Lady Like. So until next time, make sure that you thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. And until next time, Until next time, be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. Bye bye.